Hey friends, welcome back to the My Creative Days podcast. I'm Lindsay, and I'm always looking for ways to save money, make life easier, and stay creative in the process. Around here, we talk about DIY projects, thrifting, home decor, furniture flipping houses, and so much more. I also share a lot of Q&As because I love answering your questions and diving into real life stuff you're actually dealing with. So whether you're listening in your car, working on a project, cleaning the house, or just sneaking in a quiet moment to yourself, I'm really glad you're here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to take a quick minute to tell you about the Furniture Flipping Academy. I created the Academy to be an all-in-one resource for anybody who wants to learn furniture flipping. Whether you're looking for a creative outlet, some extra income, a side hustle, money to pay down debt, save for vacations, or even opportunities to work with companies and brands, the Academy walks you through every step on how to get started through how to grow. Inside, you'll find lessons on finding furniture, flipping it with confidence, pricing it, selling it, and so much more. There is so much inside the Furniture Flipping Academy. It's completely self-paced. You get lifetime access. It is a resource you'll come back to again and again throughout your flipping journey. And right now, it's at the lowest price it's ever been. You can find all the details and the link in the show description. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. So this podcast I thought would be good to record because it's something that Matt and I are actually going through right now. And I thought, you know what, just a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of, some of us just need a little bit of a nudge, right? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory and here we go. So for those of you that don't know, we have been, we're always looking at houses, and for most of the time we are looking for flip houses, investment properties, rentals, those kinds of things. Well, for the last couple of years, forever, we have lived in the house that we are in for over 20 years. Landon, like 23 years, I think we're coming up on. Could be 24. Anyway, forever, the kids never wanted to move. We live on a nice dead-end quiet street, and so just forever, we just didn't want to move. Like that wasn't in the cards. And then a couple of things happened, not necessarily happened, but over the last couple of years, and I would have to ask my realtor friend how many years, she's been helping us look for, she helps us look for investment properties. And then we've kind of told her if we found the perfect house, we think we'd be interested. And so we've been looking at houses for years for ourselves. And this is mainly about ourselves. So we've been looking for a while, but for us to move, it's going to have to be the right thing. So we're not in a position where we have to move, need to move. Do you know what I'm saying? But we are in a position in our lives where we would move if the right opportunity came up before us. So that's how I'm going to put it just for the time being. So recently, another thing that's super fun in all of this is Gabrielle, our daughter, loves to look at houses. And so she's always sending us listings. And so she'll send us a listing and then I'll get, the same listing that day from our realtor. Or so it's just been kind of fun. And we've kind of gone back and forth. And I just love looking at houses, period. And so Gabrielle's kind of gotten into that too. So it's just been kind of fun. Well, recently, I want to say at the time of me recording this, about 3 weeks ago, I want to say 3-4 weeks ago, Gabrielle actually sent us 3 houses, I want to say, that had just come on the market. And I did not get one from our realtor for one of these. So we were actually on vacation, and the one that came through first, I'm like, I texted our realtor and I said, as soon as we get back home, we're driving by it. So one rule that we always have is if there's something we're interested in for an investment or for us, we drive by it first. I do not want to waste our time or her time, going through a house that as soon as we drive there, we know it's not a possibility. So we always drive by first. Well, the first one we drove past when we got home, it was an automatic no. We drove by it and we're like, no, this is not what we thought at all. And there was also a sale pending on it, but literally we wouldn't even have gone through the house if there wasn't. The second house, we were like, it's not an area that we really love. Great area, but it's just something that we don't think at this time in our life, that's where we want to be, if that makes sense. But the house and the yard, the land that it was on, made it a contender. We drove out there and we're like, oh my gosh, instantly no. The pictures, I'm telling you, don't ever go by the pictures in a listing. Drive by the house because it's night and day. So we were like, that's a definite no. So we're driving to this third house and we're like, we love to go around driving around looking at houses, and Matt will get an ice cream or something, and then we'll take the dog and we'll just drive around. We get to this third house, and driving there, number one, it's in one of our favorite locations. Number two, there's certain things on our list and just from the outside of the house that are on our list, right? We have not told our realtor we want to go through this. We're just driving by on our own time. This one immediately checked off so many boxes. And so we're like, I immediately texted her while we're in the car, we need to get in this house. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and I'm not going to, because I'm already getting off on a tangent, but I get excited to talk about this stuff. We go through the house. Matt and I it was the first house we've been in I want to say 5 years for us, that we both got in the car and we're like, that house immediately checks off so many boxes that we have from the inside too, and like the back of the house and everything, not just from driving there and, seeing it from the front. Does that make sense? It is the first house that we both got in there and we were like, okay, now we need to do some serious talking. It is the first one. So immediately we're doing all this talking, going back and forth. If the price was different, I think we would have put in an offer for sure. So we told our realtor, listen, this is kind of where we are, blah, 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 kind of told her all that. And I said, I want my mom and Gabrielle to walk through it with us. And so we set up another showing. My mom goes through it. Gabrielle's with us, blah, blah, blah. My mom's like, it's a real solid house. Like I don't want to give off too much information because spoiler alert, this is still up in the air. And when I say up in the air, God would have to move mountains and make this all come together. And then it's like, if that happens, and like it's meant to be, right? So I don't want to give away too much. But anyway, so it was good there. But now it's kind of gone to price. Well, anyway, so then we're like, let's just get all of our, ducks in a row. Let's just do that, right? Because the realtor's like, okay, I don't think they're gonna do this, blah, 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 blah. And I said, you know what? That's totally fine. I said, let us just get our ducks in a row. We bought 3 houses last year. So let us just see what all this looks like, right? So we go and talk to the bank and, we tell her, hey, we're in a great position to do X, Y, and Z if this were to happen, blah, blah, blah. And I said, she came through our house and I said, if we wanted to sell our house, I want you to come through and tell us what you think we can list it for, blah, blah, blah. So we did all that. We did all the bank stuff. And then Matt and I were like, okay, we need to get these projects done. So since we bought 3 houses last year, investment properties, that's what we worked on all last year. We are constantly doing projects, Matt and I. We just are not good at just sitting still and doing nothing. But our house, we've kind of had this running list, but since we had all those houses last year, it was like our house, we just kind of put them on a back burner. Well, so then we had a huge list this summer to get done because we don't have any investment properties. So Matt and I looked at each other and we're like, let's get busy. We have never completed that many projects in like one weekend, but the projects are still continuing. So I wanted to kind of do this podcast because you may be there too, and it may not even be that you're moving, but you may have that project list that you've had for a while. But when you're actually like, here's the thing that it just made me really realize, because this comes up, and I'm not trying to plug the Furniture Flipping Academy, but a lot of times people will be like, I want to do this, but I don't have the time, or name something else. I want to train for a marathon, but I don't have the time. And I cannot stand that excuse because we all have the same amount of time, right? Now, we're all in different lives and we're all doing different things and we all have things that take up more time, blah, 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 right? But we all have 24 hours in the day. And it is amazing what you can get done when you set your mind to it. Like when you decide this is it, we're getting it done, how much you can get done. And so this was just another example. So I was talking to Matt about it. We walk in the morning and I'm like, this would be a perfect podcast as we were kind of going back and talking about it, because I think we all just need that little bit of a nudge, right? So it kind of became, we've had our list of stuff that we wanted to do, but it kind of became if you give a mouse a cookie situation, right? So then it really kicked in. So one small project turned into another. It was like, hey, we need to do a little bit of touch-up paint here, but wait, all the lights on the outside of the house in the back, they kind of look run down. And then Matt was looking at the prices, and it was going to be like over $200 to replace them all. And I said, there's no reason to do that. They still work perfectly well. Let's get them down. We'll clean the glass and we will paint them, spray paint them. And they look brand new. They look brand new for a can of spray paint. And it just got to the point where it didn't feel like a checklist anymore. It felt like we were just doing a full house reset, and we are still doing it. As I'm sitting here recording it, we just yesterday finished repainting my office that has needed to be done for, let's just be completely honest, probably about 2 years. And the office is completely painted. Since we've moved into this house 24 years ago, 22 years ago, whatever it was, we've never painted the inside of the closet in my office. It's a real pretty blue. Not anymore. We got that painted too. So it's like, it's paint this room, move everything out. That's what I've done in this office. And I'm really good. I'm jumping kind of ahead of myself, but I'm really good about purging and getting rid of things. I do not want to have a bunch of stuff just in storage. That's not for me. That is not the life for me. But it is amazing when you repaint an entire room, so you need to take everything out, right? How much? I mean, I literally told Matt this weekend, just from doing my office and some other areas that kind of go with my office. I'm not going to explain all that, but I literally have a full yard sale I could have with what I got rid of. And like I said, I'm constantly purging and getting rid of stuff. So it's just amazing when you take stuff out, repaint, and then you're like, I don't want to put that back in there. I really didn't like that anyway. Or, when things are just hanging on your wall or a piece of furniture has just always been there. Once you take it out, repaint, it's like you can see the space in a new way, which is actually kind of fun. So if you are just looking to love your home again too, try that. Take a small room, a small bedroom, a small office, whatever. Take everything out, repaint it a new color, and then slowly add things back in, right? And so we were finding that, here's the funny thing. I don't do a lot of I love to mow, but I don't do a lot of the planting and those kinds of things. I will go pick out plants. I'll say, these flowers would be great. And then I can help him space them and all of that. That's great. But he actually loves to get his hands dirty, get down in the dirt and all that. I'm all about the inside work. But this whole thing, I'm like, there were so many things on the outside that we wanted to tackle that I was out there for 2 days with him in the heat, in the sun, working in the yard. And it just became, I was enjoying it. It was like it wasn't just a chore. It was actually like I had a job to complete. It was like working on a flip house almost. I don't know. It was just really weird. Maybe this was it, just putting all of our energy, since we didn't have investment properties to work on, or we don't right now, putting all the energy back into our own home. Maybe that's what it is, that it felt good. I know that I love doing stuff in our home and changing things up when it's not working anymore. And so it could just be that as well. So one of the takeaways was the mindset shift, right? You don't have to be selling your house to treat it like it matters, right? So sometimes we wait for a deadline or a big decision to finally take action. And for us, to be completely honest, it was the houses we bought last year that we were working on, which was a great excuse. I mean, you're working on those all day long and all weekend long or all night long, whatever. And then you come home, you don't want to do any more projects, right? So that's really what stopped us from doing our list like last year. Progress feels good though, whether or not there's a big thing ever happens. If we, decide to keep this house and we decide to, when we talk to Landon about this house we found, blah, 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 he's like, well, you're not selling this house. And I'm thinking, who are you? Are we doing this all over again? You two never wanted to move. Gabrielle's all excited to move. And she's getting into look at houses. And then she went through that house and she's like, because for me and Matt, we want to find a house that got really great bones, but it may take our, some work to put our personality and the way we live into it. And I think it's hard for Gabrielle to see that. But So this may not, what if we decide to not sell this and we decide to keep the house, right? It's still going to feel good to have all of this done. And that's just kind of where we are right now. We are just moving forward. We have these small projects that we want to do, and we're going to continue them. And I feel like Matt and I, we were like, this summer, we've got all these things to do, right? But we hadn't really done them yet. We had just got back from vacation. We were kind of just, not really getting into that big list. But then we saw this house and all this happened, and it was like, let's get going. And so we haven't stopped since. Okay, so I've already talked about the whole purging thing. If I can encourage you of one thing from this podcast, will you please take the time to finally clean out that closet, that basement, that attic, that if you are paying for storage garages, units, you have pods, I don't even know. If you are paying for those and you really assess why you're paying for those and if you really need them, or if really you just need to get rid of that stuff that you're not using. I mean, we all have so much stuff that if you're really not using it, sell it, get rid of it, have a big sale, whatever it is, get rid of it. If you take away one thing from this podcast, let that be the one. Another little takeaway and something else I want to encourage you to is do a full reset one time, not just a cleanup, right? So I do a weekly cleaning of the house, but actually taking everything out of one space, like I kind of talked about with our office, and then, putting it back in or not, because a lot of it I didn't want to put back in. Don't organize around clutter, right? Start with a blank slate. Only put back what you actually want to live with, what you're actually using, what you actually love. When a room is empty, your decisions change. It's crazy. And I kind of talked about this earlier. Like I said, I can get rid of stuff night and day. Like, give me a room, a closet, a drawer, whatever. I can get rid of things all day long. But then when actually removing everything from the room and putting them back in, it's like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this hung on the wall again. I don't want this put here again. I really don't need this storage and this storage because I can combine the two and just have one. You stop keeping things out of habit when you do it this way. Let me say that again for the people in the back. You stop keeping things out of habit, and then you start keeping things on purpose. What surprised me the most in doing all of this, it's that it didn't turn into something stressful. It just turned into momentum because, to be completely honest, I thought, oh my gosh, are we selling this house? We have like 1 week. What are we doing? Like all this stuff, right? And now we're to this point where it's like, if it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be. That is something my mom, I had a hard time with that. But if it is supposed to be, this can be even just like, I really learned this through some thrifting and yard sale finds when my mom used to go with me all the time. And I would be like, oh my gosh, I'd see something amazing walk out, or I'd go back to get something and it wasn't there. And she'd be like, it's not meant to be. And that is something she says to me all the time in life. So it can be anything like, I can talk to her about work or contracts or whatever. And if it didn't work out, or if it did work out, it was meant to be, or it wasn't meant to be. Like the next thing's coming, or you know what I mean? So, and it's so true. And so that is like a mindset that's so helpful to me, because I do feel like there's no way we would have got 3 investment properties within 9 months if it wasn't meant to be. Like I couldn't have gone out and busted my butt and gotten those the way we got them, how much we paid for them, blah, blah, blah. It would never have gone that way. And for it to literally land in our laps like that last year, it was meant to be, right? So everything, like all of these projects, things started getting simpler, cleaner, lighter, more intentional, which I love. That's one of my favorite things about organizing. It's just, you physically feel lighter. Your mind feels lighter. Your body feels lighter. Like you just are lighter in the space, right? You sometimes forget how that feels, but yet you don't forget how stressful you are in your home, or you're like, ugh, that closet, that basement, that attic, that craft room, that whatever. It's just having less noise around you. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I really wanted to just take this time to encourage you. I know there are a lot of you, when I share content about organizing, or I'll share something on Instagram stories or something, and or like when I'm decorating for a new holiday or season, and I always say keep an empty box or an empty tote next to you, because as you're bringing your Christmas decorations out, there's going to be a lot you don't love, or things that you didn't put out last year that you're still not putting out this year. Put it in that box and take it and drop it off. Like, get rid of it, right? But a lot of you still struggle with that. And summer is such a good time to kind of reset the house, outside, inside, the garage, whatever it is. Can I just encourage you to take one step this weekend? Just one step. I don't care what that is. Pick one project that you have. I'm telling you, the momentum that you get from just starting that one project, you will be surprised at how much you'll get done and how much. Don't make it stressful. Don't make it stressful. So start with the easiest project first. But the momentum, it's just going to make you feel so much better. And that's where we are right now. I am still riding the coattails of this momentum. We still have projects that we're going to complete. We started this. We did have a list. It would have gotten done this summer, but it's been in turbo speed, I guess, because we thought we might be preparing to sell our house. But that's all still up in the air. This, to be honest, it's, 3% a maybe and 97% probably a no, that would work out with that house. But we are going to continue to make progress anyway. It's been one of the best parts of this season to find a house where we're both like, oh my gosh. And we are still talking about the house. We will work on projects and we'll say, oh, we've got to do this. But hey, if we lived out there, we wouldn't have to do this to do this. Like, it's just been kind of fun. And like I've stated before here on Instagram, we're in a weird season right now where it's Matt and I a lot alone together. And so I don't like it. I still don't like it. I'm still struggling with it, but we're finding ourselves talking about more about like what the future is going to look like when it is just us two. And so, it's weird because I find these positive and these like highlights in this season as well. And it's actually a season where Matt has helped me kind of see the positive in those, if that makes sense. Like, he's such a quiet and kind of reserved guy, but there are times when we will be doing something or I'm emotional about the season or whatever. And then the things that he'll say, I'll be like, like this is why, like this is it. And I always tell him, like, those are the things I need to hear. Like, keep saying those things because I'm kind of stuck in this, weird space that we all go through when you have kids and they grow up and aging parents and all that. So, it's just been a fun season, but just keep staying in motion, simplify things, and enjoy the process, right? Enjoy the process of doing your checklist, making your home better, no matter what season you're in. And finally checking those things off the list, right? Summer is a great time to do that. Start small. Don't make it stressful. And I promise, once you get one of those projects done or one thing off your checklist, you will be so, so happy. And it should give you a ton of momentum to just keep moving forward. As always, please make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. This podcast is now solely on YouTube, where we launch new podcasts on Mondays. We have 6 seasons. When I say that, it just doesn't even sound right, of podcasts. So you can binge all of the podcasts right here on YouTube. And if you have any questions or if you have any stories like this or anything, I love hearing from you. Always reach out to me, DM me on Instagram at mycreativedays. You can send me an email, lindsay@mycreativedays.com. I love, love, love hearing from you. If there's a podcast topic you would like to hear about or a question you send in, I love to answer those here on the podcast as well. I never share your name, so you're always, don't be worried about that. I never share your name, but it just kind of lets me know the exact kind of content and things that you're enjoying and want to hear more of. So until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon.